Oh, what's up? This is Gabriel Hodder of Primal Fear.
Matthew Omer of Primal Fear.
And this is Adrian Soriano of Primal Fear, and you're listening to Three Count Podcast.
I'm in fashion, roll with cold passion.
Everybody to another great edition of the Three Count Podcast presents Now Into the Ring, and I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, the man that leads you up this mountain called wrestling. But like, all these episodes that I've gone through and asked you, everybody should just be saying it with me. I am your Sherpa. Or, you sitting in here watching us right now. You would say, you are my Sherpa because that's what I am. But like every good Sherpa, you got to have someone who's been there, done that, and can do it more efficient than you can. And that's why it's never about me. It's about who's into ring. And you can find these guys at SKPW. You can find them at Rise, PPW, PF. MFPW, ROH, TCW, 1CW, and IWA Vintage Pro Wrestling. They are Gabriel Hodder, Matt Omen, and Adrian Soriano. Primal Fear.
What is thank you for having us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us on. How you doing?
Hell
Damn,
yeah,
after
man.
listening to all them places, I'm like, damn, have we really been to all them places? Like, damn, we did all that?
Yeah.
It's really cool though because like full transparency, like when I get to go through and do research and then like remind our guests of where they've been, they're like, man, I never really thought that we've been to that many places. I'm like, yeah, intel, it's
I'm like,
great.
must mean we're doing something right, you know?
Facts. Actually, so what's funny is like I caught you guys on ROH and then like started like backtracking and following you guys right before like ROH obviously closed off. And then I started following with you guys, and then we ran into each other at 1CW, and I was just like, these are a bunch of dudes I could just slip back and just like ask all the questions and like learn so much from them.
Everyone hope
Yeah.
so, man.
But
That's how we like to portray ourselves.
despite the the nature of our wrestling characters, we're pretty laid back, chill guys
All pretty.
outside of it.
What were you saying, Gabriel?
So we're all pretty approachable, normal guys. Just not when the gear's on.
Yeah, it goes on. It's different.
Or when I'm hungry,
Yeah.
I get hangry a lot.
I mean, don't we all though? Like, I'm gonna be honest, like these long ass road trips, like going to wherever, I'm just like, dude, like I gotta stop and get a snack, or else like when I get there, people are like, hey, blah 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 blah, it's good to meet you. And I'm just like, yeah, Cliff, sweet.
I don't know how there's some people out there that can go all day without eating. They'll be perfectly fine. I'm like, yo, how do you do that? Like, I'm hungry like every 2 hours, and then the mood just starts to swing, and
It's fucking hamsters.
get in the hand starts.
It's next.
We're like,
whoops, sorry.
Someone's either catching me like the nearest Burger King, or they're catching these hands. But someone's gonna make a decision before you.
Word up.
Something's getting fed. Yo,
Me being
so for some of us who really like, for a lot of listeners and viewers out there, let them know, who is Primal Fear.
Whew. Three hungry dudes, man, that are gonna do whatever it takes, to get to where we want to be. And like that's not pro wrestling promo character talk. Like that's real life. Three guys that have been together doing this together for a long time. You know what I mean? Like I think almost 8 years. I've been wrestling almost 8 years, and I've been with Primal Fear for 7 of them. You know what I mean? And like it's the truth, man. We're just hungry and we want to make it to the big show, whatever.
Yeah, it's like we're three guys. We're not the biggest guys. We're not the fastest guys, but like, man, we're some dogs, man. Like we
I'm
got
pretty
fight.
fast.
Yeah. But we're not the strongest or the fastest, but we're some dogs, man. You bring the fight out of us, we'll fight no matter how big or strong you are, and what keeps us, what makes us different from everyone else is you put us together, we'll take anybody. Like you might be able to defeat us, whatever, but the three of us together versus anybody in the whole world, and that's different. You can't top us.
Yeah, just know that Primal Fear doesn't hold us back, but it might hold you back against us.
Mhm.
I think that's the one thing about you guys is like, I know watching you guys just throughout like the last couple years, like you guys, it's like watching a well-oiled machine just kind of run. Like, I I guess for me to like equivalent it, it would be something like you guys have obviously been doing this longer than who I'm going to mention, but obviously like there's the homage to pay. But like it's like watching House of Black. Like you all bring a different style to the whole scene, but you all like when you guys get together, it's just like watching like you have like 3 great sports cars and you put them all together and then you guys have like this super sports car that just like takes off, and it's really cool like watching you guys all work because
We're
you guys
like a
complement each other so
Megazord,
well.
you know, like Power Rangers. We're the Megazord.
Yeah.
We're pretty
First
cool by
arms.
ourselves, but you put us together and you're gonna get your ass beat.
I was
Hey,
actually
that's what
thinking
it's
I was
all
like,
about,
like
man.
real
Got to be
strong.
cohesive. But it took a lot of practice for us to get, as cohesive as we are today. And like we're still oiling the machine. We're not perfect, but we're a lot better than like when we first started. We're still training every week. We're putting in the time in the ring to make sure that the machine runs as well as it needs to. So
I think
that,
that's
the work never stops.
I was like, I think that's the important thing is that like you got to be training constantly, because if you're not, like at one point, like a gear you'll miss a gear and then you're just gonna be like, what the hell, man? Like, this is what we talked about. And I feel like a lot of people, right? Because like I've only been doing this for 2 years, which is just for me, it's just crazy to think about that. I've only been doing it for 2 years. But I think about it all the time where I see a lot of people who are just like, yeah, no, I don't go to training anymore. I just, I start learning stuff in the ring. I was like, you should practice that stuff before you just like try it in a ring.
Yeah, I mean that last sentence you just said is something the 3 of us are pretty like. I don't know if I've ever done anything in a match where I haven't practiced it before. Even if that means walking through it before the show, but like something I've never done before, unless it's something like pretty gnarly, like falling off a ladder or something. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna practice it.
I don't know. I think working on your craft is very important, especially if you want to like try to make it in this business. And it just doesn't have to be like the in-ring work too. It can be character development, promo work, like all that stuff needs practice, man. You're not gonna pull it out of your ass like at any time. It all takes mental preparation, physical preparation, and yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Just being ready whenever the time comes.
Yeah, I'm watching and I was like, I don't know. It's crazy to think that there's some people out there who are just like, yeah, I'm just gonna try to wing this out, and you're just like, man, like I'm not comfortable with that. And there's something that I've learned too, especially for me, is like as soon as you feel uncomfortable with something, like just don't do it, because otherwise some serious shit could go down. And it's like I don't understand like where people think that, oh yeah, I'll just take this bump whenever it is that I can get into. So the question leading up to this is each one of you've got to have one of these stories. So I'm very curious about it. But what's been your worst bump you've taken?
Mm.
I know 1,000% what mine is. 10,000%.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if you know who Chuck Payne is, but he's a big dude, man. He's probably 6'6", 6'5", probably, like
40.
yeah, probably 340, 350, man. And he gave me a side slam once, but like in a pony ring, so like one of them rings that are only like 4 or 5 inches off the ground. And man, he gave me that and I rolled out, and I remember laying on the floor and just thinking like, I don't think I'm going to get back up and finish this match. Like that hurt so bad.
How about you, Matt?
So, Wrecking Ball Lagrange.
I knew it. I knew
Yep.
it.
So I don't know how. Somehow we got into a spot where.
It was great for me.
Oh yeah, it was great for you. Somehow he had Gabriel in a power bomb position, and I was in. He caught me in a crossbody, and he power bomb World's Strongest slammed us at the same time, and he was fine. Gabe came out of this fine. Oh, he crushed me completely. Every single part of my vertebrae cracked. I lost all of my air, and I was thank God he pinned me. It was an elimination match, and he pinned me right then and there because that was it for me. I was not getting up anyway. So I was like, "Oh, good thing you pinned me because I'm not gonna kick out."
Yeah, I don't know if the story I'm about to say is from the same match, but it was from another one of the elimination style matches. So at Monster Factory, every year they have an event called Turkey Slam, and it's kind of like their WrestleMania, and they always hold these Survivor Series type style elimination matches, 5-on-5. And so there was a spot in the match where everyone's, diving on each other, And I think I was one of the last ones to go. So everyone's already on the outside, like huddled up, waiting for me to dive onto them. And I get up top and I'm like, all right, it's going to be super easy. Everyone's there. I'm good. And when I go for this swanton bomb, somehow I go right through everyone. There's like a little hole in the big group of people. And I just flat first on the mat. And that shit hurt so bad. It was just a crowd of people. And I somehow managed to fucking dive right through everyone. It was awful. I was so mad.
I remember that too because I just remember, and mind you, I think we did like 3 of those Survivor
Yeah.
Series style matches, right? Like back to back to back. We were like main
Yeah.
eventing those shows, and I just remember, I guess there was like a big pull apart. Was it the pull apart?
Yeah, it
That you
wasn't the
dove?
match, Manny. It was the pull apart when you dove. I think it was to set up the match
Well, regardless,
because
Oh,
I
I
no.
remember
still
I was on
missed
the other-
everyone
I was
and
on the
landed
other
flat on my
side,
back.
and I was watching you jump, and I just heard,
You know,
and whoever was like holding me back from the pull apart, I was like, "Get the fuck off me!" I was like, "I think Manny just died. Get off of me!"
yeah, that's all I remember is people holding me back, and I heard flat. And
Yeah,
like, oh my god, like, and I'm like, get off me.
Yeah, that was bad. And the one time I got my like scalp ripped open.
Oh.
yeah, that was gnarly.
Hmm.
Yeah, so my opponent was in the corner and he went to like Bandera me to the outside, and somehow my hair got caught like with his arm in a rope, and instead of like my hair getting ripped off, like the sensation of the pull just ripped my scalp open.
Oh.
So yeah, I continued the match. I felt a little yanked, but I didn't like think anything of it until after the match. I was like, man, like something feels funny. I rubbed my head a little bit. I looked at my hand, saw blood. I was like, what the fuck? And then I asked people to look, and it was just a big like slit. So I had to go to the hospital. Got a few staples in my head, and yeah,
Man,
that
Yeah.
sucked too.
I feel like so crazy in this is that I've only imagined like those big clusters like right on the outside and like think about like people who dive out there and stuff. And I've watched friends like jump off and do backflips and stuff like that into them. And I think for me, because like you see them like on WWE and AEW like all the time go off like successfully, right? Like everybody gets caught and they all go down. But on the indie scene, it's not like that. I feel like it's about 70% of the time I see people just smack the ground. I'm just like, yeah, no, everyone
Yeah.
sucks.
And a lot of people don't know how to catch properly. That's how that ends up happening, And it's something I don't know if that's something that's really taught.
Hey man, but
Yeah.
catching people when they dive sucks too, man. I messed my shoulder up not too long ago catching somebody doing the dive to the outside. And, it sucks both ways. It sucks. It's supposed to hurt, I guess. I don't know. I'm about to quit.
I'm the opposite.
Oh, I trust me. Like, I have like this uneasy feeling because like people always tell me they're like, dude, you should learn to dive. I'm like, no. One, I'm 36. Like, there's no diving for this guy at all. Like, and two, if I am diving, like I'm coming off the apron, I'm just gonna hope that somebody catches me. Because if I splat because one person didn't catch me, now I'm really gonna be pissed when I get up.
Yeah. A lot of that though comes from, you got to trust the guy that you're in there with, and that's the thing is a lot of these guys aren't trained properly, unfortunately, and that's how things like that happen. And people get really hurt. I mean, people have gotten really, really hurt not getting caught on dives.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, and you just gotta be crazy too. You just gotta say, man, screw it, I'm doing it. Like me and Gabe have a move where he's on all fours, like he's on his knees and on his hands, and I'll like jump off of his back to the outside. So that's giving me extra hang time into the air, and while I'm in the air, man, just my eyes are closed and I'm just praying to God.
I saw that, and we did that a few weeks ago, and I did like a drop kick to the ropes, and I kind of hold the rope down, and he jumped over, and I saw it in his face. He's hitting that last step, like, oh, here goes, And you go flying, it's like there's no going back now. Once you're
Yeah.
in the air, they better be
You got to
there
commit
because
to it, man. You got to commit.
I would just say don't dive in if you're wrestling a show on the indies and there's a concrete floor and there's
Yep. Don't dive.
no carpet, no padding, don't do it. Not even worth it. Not even
No.
worth it.
I
Unless
know
you're
one of my
doing
friends.
some house show plancha, maybe land
Yeah,
on
where
your
you can land
feet,
on your feet.
then
Yeah.
okay. But other than that, if it's between you and God, nah. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
I know one of my friends. He was like super nervous because he'd never done a moonsault before, and that was the one thing I told him. I was like, you have to trust yourself that you're gonna get over, because you will if you trust yourself. If you don't, you freak out. Like you're just gonna eat shit, and it's gonna
Yeah, I
suck.
mean,
Yeah.
that's for anything, you know, like a lot of times when we're helping train some of these younger kids and you see them, you know, whether they're taking a body slam or taking a hip toss or whatever, they only, you know, they get hurt when they hesitate. And you hesitate because you don't trust yourself. You need to trust yourself. And that, you know, that goes for anything really in wrestling. You
Yeah, and
need to
plus,
trust yourself and your opponent.
like in real life, like we all had to, like, if we were to slip outside, like the instinct is to like try and like break the fall. You know, you put your hands down, you try to break the fall. While in wrestling, it's the complete opposite. Like if you're gonna take that bump, you got hands away from the floor, and like you gotta take that bump. So it's very different, and
It
it's
goes
something
against all of your natural instincts.
right.
Yeah, I feel like whenever 'cause I'll be like watching like training going on, right? And I try not to say anything because like one, like my trainer's like, what do you see that's wrong? I was like, well, that guy's trying to put his elbows down on a power bomb. He probably shouldn't do that if he wants to keep his shoulders
Mhm.
intact. And then he's like,
Yeah.
good. Say something to him. I was like, you should keep your elbows up so you don't tear your shoulders out. Because I'm like, I'm not willing to be like, hey, stupid, don't do that.
Yeah, sometimes people learn the hard way, man. Put your elbows down. They'll be
Oh
hurting for
man,
the next week or so.
dude, my elbows when I first started wrestling used to be destroyed. There's nothing worse than taking a bump, man, and landed on your elbows.
I
That
actually
hurt.
hurt my elbow this past weekend. It's a
Yeah.
little bruised up. Uh, I mean, but the move that I do is kind of like hard to like control myself when I'm falling. It's a single leg drop kick in the corner, like dude's in the corner. I'm on the opposite side. I'm running full speed. I'm Luke Kane kicking his ass. Boom. And then when I fall, it's just kind of like, well, let's see what happens. Same as like Daniel Bryan's like running drop kick in the corner, some similar to that. So, some things are,
Yeah, but like I feel like Daniel Bryan, like his drop kick in the corner, he's hit that same kick probably like a million times, and I feel like he lands the same way every single time. There might
yeah,
have
he
been one
somehow
time
grabs like the top rope when he does the kick. I think that's what I'm gonna need to start doing.
Yeah.
It
He
even
grabs
looks
the rope and
gnarly
like
though when he does it, man.
he does really good now. He controls himself very well now. Back in the day, he's just shoot like the way you do it. He's just shoot and land. Now concussions and stuff. Gotta take care of yourself a little more.
That's how you learn, yeah. I don't take the inside out bump no more.
Well, it's also because I didn't wear my elbow pad neither. The one day I forget to put on my elbow pad, I mess my elbow up.
It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah,
I
bro.
feel like that's like the MVP of like people's gear. Like if anybody doesn't realize, like elbow pads are like lifesavers.
No, knee pads are
Yeah,
lifesavers, bro. I
yeah.
don't know
I
how
I
some
can't.
people wrestle without knee pads because my knees would be destroyed right now. I'd be in a wheelchair right now. I wouldn't even be able to walk.
Like even being on my knees in the ring sometimes hurts. Like
Yeah.
what? Are you kidding me? Like I instantly go and put my knee pads up if I do that. Like
Yeah,
nah, you
that's
kidding me?
unbelievable.
Like, yo, I'm only 30 years old. My knees should not be hurting when I'm walking. Or maybe 30 years old is the age when your knees start hurting when you walk.
Nah.
My knees have hurt since I was like 18, dude.
Oh, damn. You got old man body, bro.
I really do.
Word.
26
So
going on 85.
yeah. Listen, man. Like I said, I've been in for like 2 years. I wear double knee pads because I definitely had a lot of veterans come to me and be like, "Hey, you need to wear knee pads," and then find a knee pad that you can wear over your knee pad.
Yeah, and then I tell people like, I get it. Some people don't want to wear them on the shows. It doesn't go with their look or whatever. But like, man, if you're training, you should be wearing knee pads and elbow pads and everything, you know?
A helmet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously, dude. WWE, they wear helmets now when they train.
I think the beginners wear helmets, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was telling. I've told people, I was like, listen, like, if you guys have ever seen Little Giants, like, you should be looking like that man with a bubble suit.
Yeah. People
So,
don't realize
listen.
how much it hurts, man. That's the number one question I get. People are like, people don't ask me so much, oh, is it real or whatever. The first thing is like, oh, it hurts. And I'm like, yeah, it's awful. It
Yeah.
sucks.
I've been hit more in my face doing that than any like combat training.
Yeah,
ever.
right.
Yeah, I actually so my front tooth, my bottom tooth is actually chipped out because I got punched in the mouth by a friend in a practice match, and then I was at so I'm sitting at and that happened like 2 months ago, and I'm sitting at AEW in Baltimore, and randomly I was like, oh, there's like a lot of pressure on my tooth. What the hell's going on? And I reach in, and just this giant piece of my tooth came out.
Oh
And I
wow.
was like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
That's very unfortunate, man. I'm sorry. Ruined your beautiful smile.
So,
Maybe
That's
made it better. Who knows?
Yeah, that's character.
Yeah. And people look at me, they're like, oh, hey, what happened to your mouth? I was like, yeah, it's what happens when you get punched in the face. Mine happened by accident.
So is
Is
that
it-
what are you training to become a wrestler? Or I mean,
Well, I mean, I've been on shows, so I've
oh
definitely
yeah,
been working now for about 18 months, actually. So,
okay.
yeah, well, a little bit more
And
than
where's the
18
school? What's the school you're training at right now?
So I trained with Sicken out of Riot City Compound, I think is how he really addresses it now. Because I keep
Okay.
calling it that. So
Where's that at? Where's that located?
So we're in Maryland actually, and Sicken's trainer was actually Ruckus.
Okay. Oh wow. That's super cool.
Yeah, so it's really
how
fun.
you liking it so
And-
far?
Oh, I love it. I love this whole thing, man. Like this whole journey's been like incredible, and like coming from the military side, and then like trying to find myself and trying to figure out what I needed to do or what I wanted to do in life, like getting into this because I've it's like everybody, right? And I would ask you guys the same question. You guys would probably say the same thing. You grew up as a fan, right, as a kid watching it, and then you wanted to do it. And for me, like all this stuff got in the way of life, and I was like, you know what, this is the time to pursue this dream and go after it. And so yeah, there has been some nightmare turns, but for the most part I feel like I've done pretty well and just had a lot of fun doing what I'm doing.
I don't know. When I was a kid, man, I never like saw myself being a wrestler. I was into art. Like I did a lot of drawing. I took drawing classes, art classes. I attended college for art, but it kind of just happened, man. Me and Matt were in a band for a couple years. And then when that wasn't working out, Matthew threw the idea of like just checking out the Monster Factory in Paulsboro. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, why not? Let's do it. I like wrestling. I've enjoyed it as a kid. We play the games, the video games together all the time. So yeah, fuck it, why not? And then rest is history.
What
Yeah,
about
I
you,
always
Gabe?
I feel like I wanted to be a wrestler since I seen it. I think I introduced maybe in like the mid 90s, 96, 97. And it wasn't until like 1999, 2000, and I was like, okay, I want to do this. Like this is when I started seeing like the come up of The Rock and Triple H and Stone Cold and all these guys, and even in like the influx of those mid carders at the time, Jericho, Dean Malenko, Kurt Angle, the more technical wrestlers. Like I was like, man, I definitely would want to do this because I was already at that age doing martial arts and stuff like that. I wanted to be Bruce Lee as a kid. That was like my goal originally. Like I was 4 or 5 years old. I just wanted to be Bruce Lee.
Like you wanted to be a fighter, or you wanted to be in kung fu movies?
I wanted to be in kung fu movies. So like me and my dad would already like choreograph little like fight sequences when I was like 5 years old, and like getting into wrestling, he was like, yeah, that's kind of like what we do. That's like kind of like fight choreography. So I already knew it wasn't real when I was young, and I was like, man, I could do that. We already kind of do that. So that's kind of like my mentality. And I from there on, for like until I got into high school, I wanted to be a wrestler. And then once you get into high school, wrestling kind of just got kind of corny a little bit. I don't know, like the John Cena and stuff just wasn't appealing to me. Uh, it wasn't even that first John Cena. That was cool. It was like this little bit of time in the late 2000s, like 2010-ish, before I graduated
Mm.
high school. I was like, man, it's not that cool like it used to be. Like wrestling used to be so cool. So that's I started playing music and we started doing a band and stuff like that. And that was fun. We were having a lot of fun doing it. It's just you have to rely on so many other working pieces to make a band, and it just got really complicated. So the idea came off. We all were still getting together watching WrestleMania every single year. Say, hey, let's give this a shot. And fucking why not? And then here we are.
What about you, Gabe? Like, how did you get into the sport?
I actually have the complete opposite story of both of them. Wrestling was the only thing that's like ever been in my brain my entire life that I wanted to do. I was at WrestleMania when it was in Philly. I was like a year and a half old, probably. I had my 5th birthday party at the Monster Factory where I ended up, training. So my whole life, it was really the only job, like my high school yearbook, I got voted like most likely to be a professional wrestler. Like it was just always what I was. It was either that or I wanted to be a stuntman. I was really good at falling down and being entertaining while doing it.
That's that's so awesome. Like, man, we're either gonna go this or we're gonna go that. That's the way we do it.
Yeah, I
like
be a little kid, out on the playground taking flip bumps off the monkey bars and stuff because people were laughing.
Yeah, me and Matt known each other since freshman year in high school. We met Gabe, I think, was it our second year in
No, like
the
months.
business?
A little before, I would guess your second year. 2016.
So that's the following year. So we joined 2015 is when we started.
I thought you joined the same
December.
year.
I joined December 2015.
Just a few months later.
Okay.
So yeah, 2016, I guess technically.
Yeah, that's lit though, and it's cool that you guys have like this lineage now. Like you guys have been around for a while. You guys kind of know each other in and out a little bit, and you guys have like figured out like kind of like you guys have grown together and like learned like everything that's going on. I'm curious, what's been one of the hardest lessons that y'all have had to learn being in the business?
My new thing that I tell people, and for myself, maybe just because I'm a cynical, horrible person, but wrestling has taught me never get excited about anything until it's over.
I like that.
Because I mean, it's true. You could be told you're doing one thing, it doesn't happen. You can't get excited about things until it's over, because that's the only time it's not getting taken away from you.
I like that. I'm
That's
gonna ask
rough.
anybody else want to throw something else.
That hit me differently. I wasn't ready for somebody to say that. That hit different. I don't know if you got something, Adrian, but
I can't really think of anything right now, man. It's just so like we learned so much. I think
well, he was saying what bad
something
thing
that said bad thing.
Like like that sucked. Like something we learned that
a hard
terrible.
lesson.
Yeah.
I think there's more of a personal one for me, and it's just between the three of us, like as a unit, pretty much just saying what you feel and how you feel, regardless of what the other person might think. Like if you're feeling some kind of way about anything, just speak your mind, because that's the only way. I don't know, to like move ahead, move forward or whatever. Because especially being in a team with 2 other guys, man, like it's all about communication.
Yeah, I mean, this shit
And
is like a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're just a singles wrestler, try doing it on your own. You don't have other people to not say answer to, but like other guys you got to like try to do stuff with. But me being with 2 other guys, like we have to make sure that we're always good, that we're always talking to each other, we're always communicating. Say what you think, say how you feel, regardless of what the other person might say, because that's the only way we can like stick together and grow as a team. And I think that's been the biggest lesson for me, being with these 2 guys here.
It's like a band, man. It's like a band, a relationship. It's always things like we have to be true and honest with each other and ourselves. Like if you hold anything in a relationship back, you're only gonna like dwell on it. So It's been that. It's been a lot of things. Also, just like it's kind of a mixture of both things. Like, don't let anything get to your head. Kind of like he's saying, don't get too excited about anything. Just kind of stay the course. You might think something's gonna happen, something isn't gonna happen. You never know when a break might happen. So just stay the course. Just work hard. Work as hard as you can.
And
I
work hard without trying to take like the professional wrestling business very seriously, because like wrestling doesn't owe anyone anything. You get in what you get out what you put in. But at the same time, don't let it consume your life. Don't let it be the only thing that you think about. We all have lives. You just try to do what you can when you can at the best of your ability.
Yeah, that's a good one too, man, because it's like the three of us, at least, we take this shit so seriously, but like at the end of the day, we all got into it because it was fun. Like, don't lose your love of the game in pursuit of trying to make a career for yourself.
I like that. That's all really great points to put across. Listen, you guys have been around for a while. I'm sure each one of you have a different answer because I'm kind of curious about this as well. Been in many different locker rooms, been around for a long time, but I do need one do and one don't of the locker room.
Let's do the don'ts first.
Don't ask anyone for fucking wrist tape.
What? That's what? I mean, I don't do that. I always
Pack
carry
your
wrist
own
tape.
wrist tape. Yeah.
Don't be that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this is the best one right here. Don't be the stinky guy in the locker room.
That
How
is a
about
good
that?
That is a
Don't
good
be
one.
the stinky guy. Always, wash
Whether
your
it's
nether
yourself or
regions,
your
wash your
kid.
underarms, and always carry deodorant. All right, that's your best friend right there. Deodorant. We're all grown ups. No reason for any of you to be walking around smelling like, sweat and stink.
So don't be the stinky guy. Don't be the guy who's asking for handouts. So I need wrist tape. I need this. And don't sleep in the locker room.
Ah, damn it!
Don't
You stole
sleep
it.
in the locker room. These are three really good important rules in the locker room to follow.
Mine was the least important.
Sleeping and the stinky is probably the most important. Don't be stinky.
I don't know, man. The
Don't be
sleeping's
stinky.
pretty bad. I've seen people get kicked out of shows for that. If you stink, you just kind of stink. But
Yeah,
like,
stinky heat. You don't want stinky
yeah.
heat. Nobody wants stinky heat.
What are the do's in the locker room? Be a good person.
Yeah, and
Be an
just be kind to
asset.
everyone.
Yeah, be an asset.
Right.
If you can help in any way, help.
Right. Always be available for whatever is needed.
And just be friendly, like nothing makes the locker room feel more, like a home than everybody kind of just being friendly with each other, having a good time. Sometimes there's locker rooms where everybody's just going to like themselves, nobody's talking to each other. But if it's locker room, everybody's talking and have a good time, the whole show flies by and everybody's having a good time and it's just a good show. It keeps the morale up. So always have a good
Right.
time in the locker room.
Right. The business is already hard. No reason for anyone else to try and make it any harder for anyone else. That's pretty much it. You got one, Red Dog? You got one, man?
Yeah, let's know.
I
What's
do
your
have a
do's
do
and
and a
don'ts,
don't.
man?
Yeah, what's your don't?
Okay. I'm gonna fully pull the scenes behind for everybody who don't know. So we have done 256 interviews, including this one right now.
Nice.
I have heard a ton of do's and a ton of don'ts, but I will be honest, it's the first time I've ever heard someone say, "Don't fall asleep." So I'm like, yep,
Man,
that's
we've
right in the
seen it,
book
man.
right
Yeah,
away.
big one.
That's
Maybe some of the
crazy.
people you brought on are victims, bro. Maybe they've been falling asleep.
Yeah, they didn't know that they were doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, that place
was a
hasn't booked me.
slept-on
What
rule.
happened?
For me, my first do, and I want to caveat this because this would go into something that would give advice for people to do carry a notebook when you ask for advice. Like, God, I don't know how many times I've seen people ask a veteran for advice and then sit down and listen to that person and then just like, and they've taken in the knowledge, but they just go away. And then
Right.
I'll ask them a question, maybe like 15 minutes later, yo, what'd you talk about? Can't remember. like, yo, you should have been writing that stuff down. So I definitely tell people, like, I advocate, like, bring a notebook and, you know, jot some notes down really quick. One of the don'ts, like, I hear that a lot. Don't be that guy, regardless of whatever it is. Like, you know, you said be available, right? And be open, right? Have fun. But also, like, just listen, if you wouldn't do something in front of your mom or in front of your grandmother, I know a lot of people are like, I'd do it in front of my mom. In front of your grandmother, don't do it. Just don't. Just like, no, it's a bad decision immediately off the jump.
Mhm.
For my
Those are-
dude too, I would add ask for feedback, and if there's a name on the show or someone you respect or whatever, ask them if they have time, if they could watch your
Watch the
match.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely.
carrying a notebook one is very good. I tell
Yeah.
the students at Skid Row to always have a notebook in your book bag because you never know. There was a couple months ago we went to PPW. We showed up and there was an impromptu Jay Lethal seminar going on. I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, we would have known about this. We would have definitely showed up earlier. But it was just a seminar on the fly. It just happened. So you never know.
So whenever we run past, whenever we cross paths again, you guys can be like, "Hey, yo, let me check out your bag," and you'll see in my bag I carry a sponge, and the reason why is just to remind me, because I got it from the show. It's just to remind me to soak up knowledge while I'm there. It's just kind of like a little symbolic thing for me.
Yeah, and
Damn,
that's
if
something.
you have us look through your bag, man. I'm like, oh, I need that. I need that. I need
Yeah.
that. Yo, take this.
Oh, this is nice.
That is something though. I think that's a good point, and you know, I hate to word it like this because you know I'm not like, I don't know, maybe I am old, I don't know, but like a lot of these newer wrestlers I do see, they don't try to soak up knowledge. They come and they do their match and then they play fuck around in the locker room. So you know it is important to try to be around, and you know you're on them shows to have fun, but also to learn and to get better.
Yeah, every show's a learning experience, man. Every match, every moment is a learning experience, whether it's good or bad. You know.
And the worst thing is you see some guys who ask for like advice or critiques from like veterans or even anybody at all. And you can kind of just tell they're just if you're telling them that their match wasn't great, they don't even care anymore, you know? So I hate to see that. And you can kind of tell the difference between people who are doing that and the people who are actually trying to apply what you're saying to them. So that's like the worst thing to me. That's like a pet peeve to me to see that.
Yeah, one thing I think I hear it a lot too, and a lot of veterans have told me this too. They're like, listen, like a lot of people are going to give you advice. A lot of people kind of sift through it, find things that you think are going to apply to you, use that, and
Hmm.
then continue on. And like, don't harp on like all everybody. Somebody's going to come to you and be like, listen, this is a shitty match. Cool. How would you have fixed it? Bet. At that point, now they're going to start giving you some stuff, and you can start kind of digging around, figure out what's going to work and what's not. Because I know, like for
Right.
me. Listen, my character is like Deadpool, right? Like I'm open about that. Like I'm just wild as shit. I talk shit in the ring. I have a gun spot that at one time, like I pretended like I was shooting fake bullets from. And I had a promoter come to me and was like, you can't use that spot because we want the show to be more realistic. And I was like, okay, bet. So I got with another person who was a little bit more veteran than I was, asked them what they would do. And we came with this whole new spot. And now like every person who's seen it is like, I would take that. And I was like, oh, appreciate this so much.
What was the spot, if you don't mind me asking? I'm curious.
So before, like, it used to come off a clothesline, right? And it still does now, right? But essentially, like, I would come out and I'd legit, I'm not holding a gun, like a finger gun, right? Like, obviously. But then you would shoot like a person in the shoulders and the knees. And then from there, guys would get back up and I would hit them with a clothesline, a discus clothesline, right? Now it's changed to the part where still can come off a clothesline, it can come off of whatever, but you hold the gun just like you would have a gun, right? And dude smacks it out of my hand, and it's with the left hand, right? You one to the shoulder, one to the other shoulder, kick right to the knee, sweeps him out. I grab him by the back of the head. And I still play with it because it's still fun for me. I tell him I have a grenade. We throw the grenade in the air, hit him with hit him with the Miz DDT, go for the pin.
Nice,
But
nice.
it was something that evolved over time, and it was something let me be real. We were at a show. one of my friends was like, I think this might be a good idea. Because as I spitballed it to him, he's like, yeah, we should totally do that. Tried it, crowd laughed at it, and I was like, bet, because that's what we were going for. And I just kept applying it and then kept changing it and evolving. And I think that's the other part too. People need to know to evolve, like change things. You're gonna have to.
100%, man. You gotta evolve. And like try not to let other people too tell you to evolve. You should try to like evolve on your own terms, you know, because when we started, we were a completely different trio with a completely different look and gimmick. And the guys that you see today, man, is just an evolution of what we once were. Like we're nothing like what we were, even from a year ago, even from Ring of Honor. Like we are completely different guys now.
Usually, by the time someone else is telling you to change, it's too late.
It's crazy when you see people who have been around for a long time. I would say more in the indies and TV. TV is a whole different world. It's a whole different entity. But when you see guys who have been on the indies for a long time and they've had the same shtick, they haven't tried anything new. He's like, hey man, you might want to try something new. You know, we've changed. Like Adrian said, we're the whole different trio we are now than we were before. But in that time, we've changed so many times. So I feel like there's been like different sagas for us, you know, like different chapters. You have like the original chapter, and it was the chapter where we were teaming with Damian Priest. There was a chapter where we were doing like going around and doing shows in Georgia and stuff like that. We had always had different gear, maybe like different we had the hand signs before, but it was always like different incarnations of us. And I just feel like you have to evolve. People that you see that don't evolve, and they might not make it where they want to make it because they keep doing the same thing. It's just not working.
Yeah, like we were rocking masks for a long time, man. Like that used to be our shtick, and then we saw House of Black start wearing masks, and I was like, you know what? We don't need the masks. Let's do something else. I know we can come up with something else, and that's what you're seeing today. A little more raw and reckless version of Primal Fear, more of a warriors law kind of type style stuff going on right now. It's pretty fun, man. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, we're like a gang right now. So.
Oh yeah.
I like it. All right. So listen, we're gonna get into the second best segment of the 3 Count podcast. You're probably trying to figure out what the first is. It's the Red Dogs Power Rankings that you can find every Sunday on our debate show. But this is the 3 Count podcast, 10 count questions. This is how it works. So there's 3 of y'all. I expect to have 3 different answers. But I'm gonna fire off 10 questions at you guys, rapid fast. Whoever wants to answer first, second, third, doesn't really matter. But regardless, whatever your answer is, that is your answer.
Ready.
So,
Let's go.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the imaginary timer for added pressure. Bing! And here we go. SmackDown or Raw?
Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Can I change my answer?
Raw.
SmackDown.
I'm going Raw.
Yeah, I've changed. I like SmackDown. I don't know why I said
Listen,
Raw.
I just had to do a career mode in Here Comes the Pain, the old SmackDown game. I chose SmackDown because I knew who was on SmackDown. Always somebody good on SmackDown. Come on.
I say Raw because I like what's going on right now with the whole Cody Rhodes thing. I think he's doing a fantastic job on Raw.
Okay. Favorite movie?
I'm going Rocky. Original Rocky.
Pulp Fiction.
It's a rough one.
Scarface.
Scarface.
I was gonna say Scarface.
Scarface is a big one for me.
All right, PlayStation or Xbox?
Oh, PlayStation.
PlayStation, baby.
All right, buddy, guys. It's unanimous.
Favorite cartoon?
Oof.
Fuck you.
Listen, when we say cartoons, anime is not included, right? Just
Hey,
like
that's, you know what? That's your category. You can choose. If you wanted to be a part of it, let it be a part of it.
all right, listen. This is all I gotta do. All I gotta do is show this right there. You know what that is, right?
Let's go.
I picked Spider-Man.
There we go.
It's a Spider-Man cartoon.
The old Spider-Man
Okay.
cartoon.
The one from like the 90s, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if it's anything, if I had to watch one thing that was drawn and animated, it's gonna be Dragon Ball Z every day. I'm sorry, I could watch it any day. So here we go.
Yep, Dragon Ball Z.
That's my
Nice.
stuff right there.
So we going Android or Apple?
Apple.
Android.
Mm.
I'm on a MacBook right now, but still Android.
Fraud.
And I'm gonna go Android. I love both, but since we have to choose.
Okay, let's go. Favorite actor.
The Rock.
I'm a big Tom Hanks fan.
Damn.
These are supposed to be fast.
Al Pacino. I don't know. There's so many. Like, I got hit. The whole Godfather. Like everybody who acted on the Godfather is great.
The whole cast.
Yeah, the whole cast of
Yo, I
Godfather.
like it though. I like it. Al Pacino. Al Pacino's a great pick though, man. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not even. Yeah. So let's go. Sonic or Mario.
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic.
Sonic. Yeah,
Mario has better games, but Sonic's the cooler character. So I'm
Yeah.
going Sonic.
Yeah, Mario himself is kind of whack.
Yeah, he's
His
whack.
games-
Yeah, but his games are so good though.
Yeah, he's just lame.
Listen, I recently just downloaded an emulator on my phone and started playing Sonic all over again. But my emulator allows me to have Knuckles, so like hands down, like I just been running all the Sonic games with Knuckles on it.
Which emulator for what system?
It's for Android, so I'll send you
Oh,
guys. I'll send you
wow.
guys the. I'll send you.
So
guys
like
the,
Sega,
Yeah.
like Sega Genesis emulator.
Yep.
Dope. Big Streets of Rage fan on
You're gonna
Sega
get us shut
Genesis.
down.
Hell yeah. Streets of Rage was definitely where it was at.
Yeah.
We gotta move. Favorite podcast.
The
Something
3 Count podcast,
There
baby.
you go.
I was like, it's not like we have it marketed everywhere, like up on top.
Yo.
This has definitely been so much fun so far.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so there is 3 of you guys, so I'm kind of hoping for 3 different answers. But nominate one person that you want to see on this podcast.
Ooh,
Big Busky.
Eddie
Eric Martin.
Cahoon.
Yeah, I'm going Getty Cahoon as well.
God damn it, we gave the same. Eric Martin.
Yeah, I said Eric Martin. Big Busky, classic Eric Martin.
I
Busky
only have
brand.
2 friends in wrestling that aren't these 2, and it's Eric and Getty.
Bet. So we're gonna go with my last question, my favorite question to ask every single person that comes on this show. Favorite curse word.
Fuck.
Damn.
I was about to yell it too, but I've been saying fuck like the whole time as we've been speaking, and the one time he's given us the chance to say it, I don't say it.
Oh, fuck is just so good, man. Like you just like fuck, you know.
If you catch me calling a match, I'm dropping it no less than 2,000 times.
It's a transition of a sentence. It's fucking. I need to
Everything.
Go to the
I'm gonna
fucking...
Listen, that has to be everyone's favorite curse word.
Yeah, it should be.
Like, what's better than that? There is nothing better.
You'd be surprised. Actually, you know what's funny is there's a lot of people I've had on the show. So aside from the word fuck, obviously, like we on this show have unanimously decided that fuck is probably the best curse word. But shit has popped up a couple times. Damn has popped
What about
up.
gutter slut?
No, that has not popped up yet. So appreciate it for the originality. Someone said Jesus Christ. We had that one on here.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
Well, no, Jesus butt fucking
That
Christ.
bomb in there too makes it even worse.
Jesus butt fucking Christ is the best ever. I heard somebody say it one time, and I was like, "How did your brain even make that up?"
It's such like a tragic, not tragic, but like it was real. Like
Yeah, it was real.
funny.
How's that even come to your brain to say that?
That's crazy to me. But well, those are all my heavy hitting questions. So the last thing that I have for you guys to let our listeners and our viewers know where they can find you.
Oof, this is the fun part because there's a lot of us.
Yeah.
Started off, Gabriel.
All right, Gabriel Hodder. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at fear_Gabriel13. I also have a What a Maneuver and a Pro Wrestling Tees individual store.
Go ahead, Matt.
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and I even have a Twitch channel that I stream games on. Matt Oman 999 across the board. You can also find me on prowrestlingtees.com/Matt Oman.
And Adrian Soriano, I see it in parentheses on my screen right there. I didn't put that in. That popped up as you see it right there.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah,
When you put that in, I
Instagram,
was like, damn, that was such a smart idea.
Instagram, Twitter at Soriano_saga. I also have my own Pro Wrestling Tees store / Adrian Soriano. As a unit, you can find us on ProWrestlingTees.com / True Primal Fear. We are also on What a Maneuver. Just go to the stores, look, and just type in Primal Fear will pop up. You can hit us up on
We
our
got a
email
YouTube.
at trueprimalfear@gmail.com for booking inquiries. We also have a YouTube channel where we've been uploading weekly vlogs. Vlog number 4 is coming out in a couple days. So just go on YouTube, look up Primal Fear Vlog. And I think I got everything.
Yeah, we
right,
used to have a
boys?
Facebook page, but somehow it got deleted. So Mark Zuckerberg, what the fuck is
Yeah,
good?
yeah, we said fuck Facebook.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark Zuckerberg, I have a question. What the
What the
fuck?
fuck?
What the hell, bro? That is absolutely an incredibly fucking crime that you guys got your Facebook page erased. Come on, Mark, figure that shit out.
Some bullshit, bro, but fuck them.
Yeah,
Like, we don't need Facebook. We don't need Mark.
we don't need it.
We need Mark.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm not dropping the MJF thing. So anybody's wondering, yeah, exactly like that just happened like a few days ago. So I'm not gonna go ahead. I've been dropping that video on everybody's like every chat room that we had. I've just been dropping that video like every time someone says something dumb. Just
Oh, snap.
but hey, okay, so they gave you all your handles. They told you where you can find them. They told you even about their own YouTube channel. So you guys need to go follow all their social media links. And here's the thing. We're gonna take this like it's everybody's favorite part of the match. Home. Because this is the 3 Count Podcast presents Now Into the Ring. And like I said, I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, the man that leads you up this mountain called wrestling. And like every good Sherpa, it's never about you. It's about who's into the ring. And you see the guys right next to me. You see Gabriel. You see Matt. You see Adrian. The boys of Primal Fear. So you guys know what to do. Tune in to the next episode and be there. Or you just wait for this episode to end. You wait for that outro, and then you choose another episode to listen to. Peace. What's going on, 3 Count Nation? I'm Clifford Red Dog Miller with the catchphrase. But what I really want you to do right now, go to twitter.com, right? Go over there, find us at the 3count_pod, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a comment. We want to talk to you guys. Go to IG at the 3 Count Pod. Give us a like, give us a follow, leave us a comment. We want to interact with you. Go to youtube.com, give subscribe, turn the bell on, turn the notifications, leave a comment. We want to talk to you. Go to anchor.fm / the 3 Count Podcast, and in there, you can leave us a message, and we will talk to you. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that we want to talk to you. We want to have fun with you guys, and we love listening to what you guys have to say. Also, one thing I need you to do for me, the 3 Count Podcast also has merchandise. Oh, at ProWrestlingTees.com / the 3 Count Pod. Please go buy our t-shirts. We love you guys, and we hope you love us too. So show us some support, please.